If you follow me, you know that I have a lot of videos explaining Section 4 of the Canadian Electrical Code. Section 4 is a conductor section. A lot of the conductors section is about conductor sizing. I'm going to give you a quiz with 6 questions based on to test your knowledge of Section 4 of the Canadian Electrical Code, not including conductor sizing. So here is a quiz for you to test your knowledge, not including conductor sizing. I'm not going to give you your answers here. I'm going to tell you the answers actually, but I'm not going to actually click on them here because you can do this quiz on your own if you want to, by just pressing mute, and then I won't be giving you the answers, or you can unmute and listen to my answers. So question 1, let's get right into it. Section 4 of the Canadian Electrical Code, I'm going to call this quiz A for you, and it is practice problems without conductor sizing. So let's see how well you know Section 4 of the Canadian Electrical Code. A single-phase 3-wire circuit shall use conductors that are identified by which colors? So single-phase 3-wire circuits. I'm going to look at the electrical code and I'm going to look at Section 4. And in Section 4, rule number 32, Section 4, rule number 32, whoops. Section 4, rule 32, hard to navigate here. I'm going to keep trying to scroll down to rule 32, and I'm going to show you where this is in the code. So it is actually in Section 432, which is called Identification of Insulated Conductors. And it talks about green, and then one of them it talks about, let's see, single phase, so one phase, AC or DC. But we are talking about 3 wires because I see my options here are for black, red, black, white, red, black, and red, black, red, and white. So this is single phase 3 wire. So I'm looking at single phase 3 wire, black, red, and white. So the answer here to question 1, the answer to question 1 is black, red, and white, and I got that from Section 4, Rule 32, Identification of Conductors. Let's move on to question 2. Question 2, single conductor cables carrying more than something shall not enter ferrous metal boxes through individual openings. So this is a safety consideration, and if you have too much current, you don't want to stick conductors, really high current carrying conductors, through some metal box openings for safety purposes. So I'm going to find that up in Section 4. Here we go. Sometimes I have a whole video for you actually on induced voltages in metal armor and sheets of single carrying conductors. And I think this is sitting in there as well as kind of, not sure if it really fits there, but it's in Section 3 here. Single conductor cables and single insulated conductor cables carrying more than 200 amps shall not enter ferrous metal boxes through individual openings. So the answer here to question 2 would be 200 amps. Let's look at question 3. Question 3 is the imperial measurement of trade size 27 conduit. That's not specifically in this bit of code, but I thought you should know it. This is in like the flexible cord section. Sizes of flexible cords. Here we go. Sizes of flexible cords. Flexible cords. Tinsel cord shall be permitted to be number 27 gauge copper. And so I just wanted to mention this because it's not a direct question, like how big is number 27, but I want you to know that tinsel cord, which is flexible cord used, for example, like in high flex applications like telephone wires and things like that, it's the stranded tinsel cord, can only be up to 27 gauge. And the answer is actually 1 inch. 27 gauge tinsel cord is 1 inch tinsel cord. So the answer to number 3 is 1 inch. The answer to number 4, the identified conductor shall be of which color? Green, red, black, or white? You probably know that one off the top of your head. If you don't, it's one that you should definitely commit to memory and not take time to look up. That's sitting in 424, I believe. Yeah, 424 starts down here at the bottom. It's called the identification of insulated neutral conductors up to and including number 2, copper or aluminum. And it is in section or subsection 2 of that. It says, where conductors of different systems are installed in the same raceway box or other type of enclosure, and the identified circuit conductor of one system is colored by a white covering. So the answer there is white. White covering is the answer to question 4. Question 5, I only have 2 more questions here. Question 5 and question 6. Which of the following terms does not meet the sunlight requirement criteria? That is about conductors. That's why I have it on this quiz for you. But it's actually specifically said in section 2. But I'm giving it to you here because if you're doing one of my section 4 quizzes, you should probably have already learned section 0 and section 2 from me. So that actually sits up in general rules in section 2, and it's in rule 2 at the bottom. I don't remember which one, but it sits down here at the bottom. Here we go. Sunlight resistance requirements. And they have to have some tape that says, oh, let's see. It says, where is it in here? It's down here somewhere. It says sunres. Actually, if I search for sunres, sunres is an appropriate term. Oh, here we go. It's 2-136. 2-136. Here we go. The intent of this rule is to protect totally enclosed non-magnetic raceways as well as insulated conductors when they're outside, basically the effects of the rays of the sun. Those need to be marked as SR, which means sunres, or they say sunlight resistance, or they say outdoors. What they don't say is weatherproof. So which of the following terms does not meet the sunlight requirement criteria? The answer is B, weatherproof. Also, what is the maximum voltage to ground? Maximum voltage to ground that may be present in a dwelling unit. That's also going back. That's some background information. If you're learning conductors, you should already know that 150 is the maximum voltage to ground in a dwelling unit. That should be committed to memory at that point, and that's why this is here. So that is sitting in 2-110, I believe. 2-110. Let's see. I'm scrolling up in 2. Now I'm switching to 2-110. 110. Here we go. Circuit voltage to ground dwelling units. Branch circuits in dwelling units shall not have a voltage exceeding 150 volts to ground. So the answer to this one is 150. Question 6 answer is 150. So I hope that this has been a useful quiz for you. Those are 6 questions that are about section 4 conductors, a little bit from section 2 of the Canadian Electrical Code without conductor sizing. Look at my next quiz, which will be called section 4 quiz B for conductor sizing. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, I can send you a PDF of this with questions and answers and solutions and give you the access to the video with all of the correct answers showing as well. Thank you so much for learning with me the Canadian Electrical Code, and good luck on whatever you're doing with this information. Take care.